In a quiet corner of the kingdom, Sally swept the dimly lit hallway, drawing the attention of the children nearby. "What's that smell?" one girl sneered, wrinkling her nose. "Something stinks." Another girl laughed cruelly. "Oh, it's just dirty Sally. Go away, you're disgusting." But the insults no longer surprised her. Sally simply lifted her chin, brushing off their words. "There's no point cleaning when you're filthy yourself," one of them added, her voice echoing down the hall. But Sally knew the truth. "I don't smell. I wash every day. I only look this way because it keeps others at a distance." Memories of her past crept in. Sold at a young age, abandoned by her parents, she had been taken in by a traveling troupe. Life there was harsh, hard labor, cruel masters. At 17, she became a maid, but as she grew older, her striking beauty made her stand out. By 18, she was forced to perform as a dancer. Nights became a blur of exhaustion and rehearsals, bruises hidden under her clothes. The troupe's master saw his dancers as nothing more than income. Despite her fame as the most celebrated dancer in the capital, she remained distant, untouchable. A flower admired but never touched. Even among nobles, whispers followed her. "Look at her," one woman sneered. "You can smell the slums on her." "How did a dancer end up here?" another muttered behind her fan. But Sally kept smiling, as she always had. She'd learned long ago not to let the words cut too deep. That night, everything changed. The room quieted as Duke Estabbon entered. Even among nobles, his presence commanded attention. The youngest duke of a powerful house, a man rarely seen at common gatherings. "He only attends imperial events," someone whispered. Sally turned, and in that instant, the world seemed to still. Their eyes met. Her heart pounded violently in her chest. She'd never felt anything like it before. In that moment, she realized something she had never allowed herself to feel. She was in love. After that night, thoughts of him consumed her. She memorized the way he looked, the sound of his voice. But reality weighed on her. How could a man like him notice someone like me? She thought of spending her savings to attend a ball where he might appear, of finding some connection that could bring them together. But before she could act, fate intervened. One evening, her master burst into her room. "Sally, get out here." Behind him stood a man she didn't recognize. "His Grace Duke Estabbon wishes to meet you," the man said. Her heart stopped. Is this really happening? She wondered, barely able to breathe. She spent everything she had on a modest but elegant gown, determined to meet him not as a dancer, but as a woman. When she arrived at the estate, her nerves nearly overwhelmed her. The man beside her sneered. "A girl like you should know why the Duke called for you. Just charm him like you do every man. Maybe he'll make you his plaything." She ignored the cruelty and walked into the grand hallway alone. The doors opened, and there he was. Duke Estabbon stood before her, distant yet captivating. She curtsied, her voice trembling. "I greet your grace. My name is Sally." Silence stretched between them. Was this a mistake? She wondered, her heart pounding. Her master's voice echoed in her mind. "Think of the money." Gathering her courage, she spoke again. "Would you like to dance with me?" A quiet, simple question. For a moment, she thought he would refuse. But then, he took her hand. That night, they danced. His touch ignited feelings she had buried long ago. It was the first time someone's gaze made her feel human, not a commodity. When morning approached, reality crept back in. She was just a dancer. Just a girl without a last name. Surely, with dawn, this would end. But then his voice broke through her thoughts. "Sally, will you be my mistress?" Her breath caught. Mistress? She met his eyes, searching for the truth in his words. Was this another transaction, or had fate finally granted her something real? Mistress? Sally gripped the sheets, heart pounding. She knew what that meant, a life in his shadow, scorned and whispered about, but it also meant staying by his side. If I can be near him, that alone is enough, she told herself. Yes, of course. I'll be your mistress, she answered with a smile, hiding her fear. And so, Sally became Duke Estabbon's mistress, unaware she had stepped into a nightmare. What followed was misery. His affection was cold, his cruelty sharp. No matter how much she begged, the suffering never stopped. Please, stop, she had cried, voice breaking. All I did was love you, she thought, as her life slipped away. Sally was just 20 when she died, alone and unloved. But fate gave her one more chance. When she opened her eyes, she found herself in her younger body, before the fame, before the pain. A second chance. This isn't a dream, she whispered, looking at her small hands. This is my chance to change everything. I won't live like that again. I won't die like that again. And I will never love him again. Her resolve hardened. Sally, where are you hiding now? A voice barked, snapping her back to reality. She gripped her broom. Right, I'm 16 again, a lowly maid. The door slammed open. Slacking off again, are you? Get to work, the head maid shouted. I'm sorry, I just finished cleaning, Sally replied quietly. Clean the dressing room before the troop master returns. If I see a single speck of dust, you'll go hungry tonight. The maid snapped, tossing a bucket and rag. Sally carried them to the dressing room, but as she opened the door, a voice stopped her. Leave it. A young woman sat in the shadows, her face tense, fingers gripping the chair. Sally sighed quietly. I didn't notice anyone was here. I need to clean before the evening performance, Sally said. There will be a performance, the woman said bitterly. I'm the one dancing tonight. The troop master's special guest will be there. Everyone's jealous, but they don't know how terrifying it is. Her voice trembled. At first, I was happy. I had fans, applause. But then that man, he's obsessed. He follows me everywhere. No matter how much I refuse, he won't leave me alone. I can't even walk outside anymore without fearing he'll appear. Tears slipped down her cheeks. One day, I swear, I'll shove a 10-day-old baguette right up that bastard's ass, she muttered, rubbing her temples. Sally stood still, watching her. She remembered the fear. She'd known men like that, and she knew no one in the troop would protect the girl. Finally, she spoke softly, offering advice. The woman blinked, listening closely. The next day, Sally scrubbed the floors as usual, but her thoughts wandered to the dancer. I wonder if she's safe. Just then, trouble found her again. Well, well, look who's being lazy, sneered Lily, a girl who never missed a chance to mock her. Maybe she can't tell what's dirty because she's filthy herself, Lily smirked, kicking over Sally's bucket and spilling dirty water across the clean floor. The other girls laughed, but the headmaid's voice cracked through the hall. What do you think you're doing? Lily put on an innocent face. I'm sorry, I didn't mean for Sally to mess up again. I should have watched her better. Yeah, it's Sally's fault, another chimed in. The headmaid's face darkened. Again, Sally? Come here, I'll teach you a lesson. She grabbed Sally's arm, raising her hand to strike. Sally? A voice rang out. Everyone turned. The dancer burst into the room and wrapped Sally in a sudden hug. The room froze. Oh, you precious girl, the dancer exclaimed. Sally stiffened. What is happening? The dancer smiled brightly. I did what you said, and he never came back. I finally slept in peace. Thank you. That's good, Sally said, still confused. The woman beamed. Tell me what you want. I'll grant you a wish. A wish? Sally hesitated, then spoke. Then, can I be your personal maid? Sarah blinked in surprise. My personal maid? That means we'd be living together. Sally hesitated, wondering if she'd overstepped, but Sarah gave a warm smile. Oh, I should be thanking you. Let's go ask the troop master right now. She helped Sally to her feet. Sally's eyes widened. Oh, right. Before they could leave, Sarah turned sharply to the children nearby, her voice firm. Hey, you kids, don't you dare bully Sally again. I'll handle it myself if I have to. The children froze, wide-eyed. Sarah gave the bucket near them a sharp kick, splattering dirt onto Lily's shoes. Clean it up properly, she ordered. Still stunned, Sally followed as Sarah took her hand. Let's go, Sally. Oh, okay, Sally stammered, still trying to keep up. Behind them, one girl whispered nervously, Lily, aren't those your favorite shoes? Shut up, Lily snapped, kicking the floor in frustration. That dirty girl thinks I won't notice just because she's hiding behind Sarah. Just wait, Sally, I won't let this slide. Later, in Sarah's room, they shared a meal. Let me know if you want more, Sarah offered. Sally hesitated. How did you know how to get rid of stalkers so easily? That man never came back. Sarah tilted her head. What trick? Sally smiled faintly, avoiding the truth of her past life. I overheard once. Men like him are terrified of their wives. If you send a rejection letter pretending to be his wife, he'll stay away. Sarah's eyes widened. You're amazing, Sally. She pushed the soup toward her. Eat up before it gets cold. After a quiet moment, Sally spoke again. Miss Sarah, I actually had a real wish I couldn't ask for earlier. Sarah leaned in, curious. What is it? I don't want to be a dancer. Sarah frowned. Who told you to dance? You're my personal maid now. Sally lowered her gaze. Even as your maid, I'll stand out more than before. If the troop master notices, he'll keep a closer watch on me. Sarah paused, then studied Sally more carefully. She's prettier than I thought. Much more than she lets on. With a soft smile, Sarah said, No one's here by choice. I'll try to keep you out of sight, but in return, I'll be asking you for advice sometimes. You're sharp, after all. Sally smiled in relief. If I stay unnoticed, I'll never meet the Duke again. I can live peacefully this time. Years passed, and Sally quietly supported Sarah, teaching her how to read, use cutlery, and helping with her dancing. 4 years later, Sally examined herself in the mirror. I'm starting to look older. Maybe I should layer my clothes to hide my figure. Sarah's voice rang out, full of excitement. Sally, hurry and come here. Sally rushed over. Look, I got an invitation. Sally tilted her head. You've received plenty before. Sarah shook her head, waving the letter. But this one's special. The paper feels different. Read it for me. Scanning the elegant handwriting, Sally's expression stiffened. It's from the Marquis Surhar, the party where you first met Duke Carlos Estabbon. Sarah's eyes widened. What? Really? What does it say? Sally nodded. It's in a week. Sarah clapped her hands. Perfect. Plenty of time to prepare. A Marquis's party will be full of nobles. Sally's heart sank. Miss Sarah, please don't go. If you do, you'll meet him, you'll fall in love like I once did, and suffer the same fate. The night of the party arrived. Sally helped with Sarah's makeup, her heart heavy. Are you really going, miss? Sarah laughed lightly. Don't worry, I won't let the nobles intimidate me. Done! She stood up, confident. Don't wait up for me. Sally whispered softly, Please be safe. Hours later, Sally was startled awake by the sound of rain, and the sight of Sarah drenched in the doorway. Miss, why are you soaked? What happened? Sarah trembled, tears mixing with rainwater. Sally, I think I'm in love. From that day, Sarah changed. She avoided gatherings, stared out windows, and kept to herself. One day, Sally brought her tea. Miss, please drink this. But Sarah only sighed. I don't want it. A servant's voice interrupted them. Sarah, a messenger from Duke Estabbon's estate is here. The Duke requests your company. Sally froze. It's happening again, just like before. The servant added, Don't try to feign illness again. He's sending a carriage for you by dinner. Sally clenched her fists. No. I tried to change fate, but it's repeating. Now it's Miss Sarah caught in it, instead of me. Sarah grabbed Sally's hands, tears falling. No, I don't want to be with anyone but the person I truly love. Sally's eyes widened. Wait, does that mean the man Sarah loves isn't the Duke? Meanwhile, at Duke Estabbon's estate, his expression darkened. What will you do, Your Grace? His butler asked. He spoke coldly. If she won't come willingly, I'll make her. The grand halls of the Estabbon estate were hushed, the heavy air tense with anticipation. In the study, Duke Estabbon sat alone, focused on a document before him. A butler entered, bowing respectfully. Master, I've informed the madam that the woman will be arriving tonight. The Duke lifted his gaze, calm but sharp. And her response? The butler hesitated. She laughed, saying, Men have their needs. A faint, humorless smile crossed Estabbon's face. Of course, typical of her. When will the woman arrive? Soon, Your Grace. But is this truly necessary? The butler asked cautiously. The Duke gave a dismissive wave. Bring her to this room as soon as she arrives. His gaze fell on the divorce papers nearby. Request denied, he thought coldly. She's a venomous woman. Meanwhile, in a modest carriage approaching the manor, Sarah trembled with guilt. Sally, I can't let you do this. I can't sacrifice you like this. But Sally met her gaze with quiet determination. Don't worry, miss. I'll be fine. You deserve happiness with the man you love. Sarah's voice broke. But you don't know what he'll do if he finds out you're not me. This is Duke Estabbon we're talking about. Sally smiled gently, though her heart beat fast. I'll be okay. He won't hurt me over this. The carriage slowed to a stop. The driver turned. Miss, we've arrived. Sarah's breath hitched. Already? Sally squeezed her hand. Go back to the troop and say the Duke chose me instead. No one will blame you. Tears welled in Sarah's eyes. I'll wait for you until morning. We'll leave together. Sally smiled faintly. You need to stay healthy for your future. Please don't worry about me. Sarah bit her lip, conflicted. You say strange things sometimes. But I've never lied, have I? Sally replied softly. Sarah finally let go. No. Thank you, Sally. Sally adjusted her hood and stepped out of the carriage alone. At the manor gates, a steward greeted her. His Grace is expecting you. Please, this way. Sally followed, steadying her nerves. If this is fate, I'll face it head on. Inside, the butler Evan stopped her. Are you Miss Sarah? Lower your hood. Sally crossed her arms. I won't. Evan blinked, surprised. Pardon? She lifted her chin. I'll only take it off in front of the Duke. Evan frowned. It's for safety, that, to make sure you're unarmed. A small smile played at her lips. Are you saying the great Duke Estabbon feels threatened by someone like me? The butler stiffened. His Grace is a soldier. He fears no one. Then I'm the one at risk, she said calmly. But thank you for the warning. Evan, frustrated but intrigued, led her down the hall. What kind of woman is this? At the Duke's study, he paused. We've arrived. Mind yourself. I wouldn't dream of doing otherwise, Sally answered coolly. He knocked. Master, the woman is here. Come in, came the low, steady voice from inside. Sally's heart jumped. That voice. She forced herself to breathe. Stay calm. Don't fall for him again, Evan gestured. Well, lower your hood and greet him. Slowly, Sally removed her hood, meeting Duke Estabbon's sharp gaze without flinching. I greet His Grace, Duke Estabbon. I am Sally, maid to Miss Sarah. A flicker of surprise crossed his face before his expression hardened. He turned to Evan. Where is the woman I summoned? Why is this maid here? Evan paled. I confirmed Sarah boarded the carriage, Master. I'll find her at once. But Sally stepped forward, her voice steady. Don't waste your time. She left with the man she loves. A shadow passed over the Duke's face. What did you say? Sally met his gaze without hesitation. Besides your Grace, you didn't summon a woman for companionship tonight. You're trying to make a statement, aren't you? His expression darkened. Explain yourself. The grand ballroom hummed with quiet gossip, nobles exchanging rumors beneath sparkling chandeliers and polished glassware. Did you hear? Count Svan got divorced. Divorced? A noblewoman gasped, leaning closer. No wonder, considering how he flaunted his mistress. Any wife would grow tired of such humiliation. Indeed, a gentleman added, sipping his wine. And that mistress thought herself irreplaceable. Foolish girl. Meanwhile, Duke Estabbon stood apart from the chatter, observing with sharp eyes. His gaze drifted to a newcomer. Who's that? He asked calmly. She's a dancer, quite well known lately, someone replied in a low voice. A dancer? At a gathering like this? Another noble whispered disapprovingly. The Duke's gaze lingered. Her posture, her grace? She could be useful, he thought. Later, in the quiet of his study, Duke Estabbon faced Sally. She left with the man she loves, Sally said evenly. What? His expression darkened. Sally met his gaze without flinching. You weren't looking for a simple dalliance tonight, Your Grace. You summoned a dancer, knowing it would spark rumors. You wanted a scandal. The Duke's sharp gaze assessed her. Explain. No man of your standing summons a dancer so publicly unless he wants society to talk, especially when you already have a wife. You're looking to stir gossip, not satisfy desire. The room fell silent. Evan, the butler, watched the exchange in surprise. A faint smirk tugged at the Duke's lips. Go on. If you want a scandal, let it be bigger than a Duke and a dancer. Imagine the talk if the Duke favored a dancer's maid instead. It'll damage your wife's pride even more. Estabbon leaned back thoughtfully. You speak boldly, but will people believe it? Do you have the looks for such a role? A breeze shifted her hood slightly, revealing her features. He studied her, then nodded. Not bad. With the right dress, you'll pass. What's your price? Freedom, Sally answered firmly. When this is over, I want to leave and live as I please. The Duke gave a short laugh. Freedom? Not money? Not a title? That's all I want. He gave a brief nod. Very well. Play your part well, and you'll be free. Later, over tea, the Duke explained his plan. I need a mistress to provoke Elisée Estabbon into requesting a divorce. She treasures her social standing. If her image is threatened, she'll act first. Sally quietly listened, recalling painful memories. Elisée wasn't someone who'd fall for such a ploy easily. She remembered kneeling before Elisée, humiliated. You thought you'd win sympathy because you were weak? Elisée had said coldly. I did this to remind you where you belong. Back in the present, Sally clenched her fists beneath the table. This time, she would not be powerless. I understand, she said calmly. I'll play my role as your mistress. The Duke studied her for a moment, then stood. First, you need to clean up. She stiffened. Why? He sighed. Don't overthink it. Tonight, we must look the part. People will assume we shared a bed. You'll sleep in this room. She relaxed slightly, then glanced at the couch. I'll sleep there. He blinked, caught off guard. What? I'll take the couch. Good night, Your Grace, she said, turning away. The Duke watched, slightly amused. Bold or naive? He wasn't sure. As he observed her peaceful, sleeping face, he let out a quiet sigh. Let's hope she doesn't grow too comfortable in this role, he thought, closing his eyes. Thank you so much for watching this recap. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more manhwa summaries and updates. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Until next time, take care and happy reading.